Good afternoon, our viewers. Welcome to today's episode of Women at the Front Lines. We are at Entebbe Best Western Premier Hotel, and today is another day that we are bringing to you an exciting guest. And our purpose of bringing these great women, great ladies, is to inspire you, our follower, to inspire you, our woman out there, a young woman, or any other woman aspiring to be a great woman in her life and a leader. And we bring them from different sectors. Today we shall have another politician, another highly impactful woman in her sector of politics. And before I introduce her to you, I would like you to follow us, join the discussion on our channels that you're seeing on your screen, and to thank you so much for giving us your time every Saturday, 2 to 3 to 4, here on Civic Space TV. We are supported by CCG, Center for Constitutional Governance here, Great Lakes Institute of Strategic Studies, and the Women's Movement in Uganda. I have a very delightful guest, my senior sister, Jalia Bintu. Jalia Bintu is a mother. She's a politician. She is also a farmer, a sportswoman, a wife at that as well. And I can say a wife, if I am to be corrected, of a Prime Minister of Bunyoro. Former Prime Minister of Bunyoro. So that does that make you a royal in a sense of the word? Because if he served as a Prime Minister in that kingdom, what is the title?
I was a wife. I was a
wife of a Prime Minister of Bunyoro Kingdom, that mighty kingdom here in Uganda. Would like to welcome you, Honourable Bintu.
Thank you.
Yes, in my experience, of course, and in my work with you, you are my big sister. Yes. And I realized that there is a big sister called Jalia Bintu who I have not brought on this set. And yet there's a lot another woman out there can learn from you. There's a lot you can do to inspire young women, young leaders, especially those who want to walk in the journey that we have walked. But in this space, we bring not just politicians, other women. We are delighted to be having you today, a woman from the political arena, to give us a few insights. The reason why we are concentrating on politicians is that in the next round of elections, Honourable, we want to see more women in the general seats. You see, we have affirmative action in Uganda here. There are 146 women or districts that women are voted in. But we have 300 other seats that women hardly go to contest in. So we want to inspire more women. By the time 4 years come, we should be able to have more women standing. Actually, in all, we need to neutralize.
Yes.
So you who is watching, we want you to arise, neutralize, come out of your comfort zones and occupy spaces in politics, yes, but also there are others that are public service, other public sectors, other sectors. But for politics, we must arise, step out, dominate, and spread out as women. So, Honourable is here today to inspire some of you in the political arena. Honourable, you're welcome.
It's
been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
What have you been up to?
Thank you, Honourable Monicah.
Yes.
And good evening, our viewers. I'm Bintu Jalia Lukumu Ngonza-Boli. And I'm a former member of Parliament.
Yes.
On political sabbatical leave
right now,
yeah,
but we'll get there.
That. Yeah, we'll get
back to that place.
Yeah, and I'm delighted to be hosted here, and to share with you my experience and the road that I've been walking up to today.
Yeah,
and Madam Monicah,
just to maybe to start, you see, when we see women like you, we don't know how you came up. We don't know where you've come from. Some people think you just came from the stars.
From the Mars, no.
You never walked that journey that every other ordinary girl goes through. How was it like for you growing up?
Yeah, Madam Monicah, I'm born from Kisiabi village in Bulisa district.
Not Masindi.
Not Masindi. By then, it was a greater Masindi.
Okay.
But now it's Bulisa district. And I went to Kisiabi Primary School for my P1 and P2. And then that's when my father was transferred to work at the district headquarters as a district veterinary officer. So he had to take his family with him, and then we would transfer to Masindi, and then I joined P3 from Kabalega Primary School.
Oh.
So the road now started from Masindi. I went to a teacher training college, Kamras Teachers College. I went to...
So you're actually a teacher in training?
I'm a teacher by profession and a tutor at that, because I went to Institute of Teacher Education in Kiambogo and I did a diploma in teacher training. I'm also a social scientist. I went to Makerere University for my first degree, and then I went back to Makerere University for my second degree in peace and conflict studies.
Wow.
My life in politics, I started participating in politics as a youth.
As a youth leader?
During my school time.
Wow.
And that was when we had the National Students Association. And I was a secretary for female youth at the college.
At the college?
At the college.
Wow.
And so when NRM took over, they introduced now UNSA. And I participated in UNSA, and I stood for the district chairpersonship.
Wow.
And I contested for UNSA at the district level. And I contested with the other boys, young boys, but I managed to make it. And I want to believe that was the beginning of my story in politics.
Okay.
But at home, I was very much interested in helping, being a teacher and having lived in the community. I used to write letters for LOC1s. I was their secretary.
Oh,
RC1.
RC1 at that time.
In 1980s, yes. So I went to RC2. I was a secretary RC2.
What?
Kijura, by then Kijura Parish. That is in Masin town. So it was too demanding, and it was so exciting that you are writing and helping people, giving them, putting their information in a written form so that they can be able to go ahead and pursue what they are supposed to pursue. So when I became the chairperson in Wunsa,
but in your family, how many are you? I want to understand the girl positioning.
In my family, I was the third.
The third girl?
The third.
And how many girls?
The girls were 4. And the boys, they are more than the girls. You know, my family, my father has got so many families.
He's a Haji.
He's not a Haji, but he's a real traditional African man. And we are from different mothers.
Okay.
So from those different mothers, I'm the third.
Okay.
But it's unfortunate that the first 2 boys, all of them were, they went to meet their God.
Okay. And
I remained as the first. But when I got into these elective positions, they were still alive. And we would share with them.
So have others also joined politics? So you've been like a ceiling breaker in that area?
I don't think others have joined. They are busy doing their own things, but they have been actively supporting me.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I joined the student leadership, I think that was really a stepping stone for me to start now, preparing myself into leadership positions at a higher level, because I was a student leader but a youth leader.
So we should not underestimate the student leadership.
The participation in student leadership is very important.
It nurtures leaders.
And right now, it starts even from primary. Because when you see those children who are participating, who are competing to be prefects at different levels, right from primary, it's building their career and nurturing them into leadership.
Okay.
I am actually excited. One of my sons, the last born, contested for prefectship when he was in P4. And I went to attend his meeting and his rally, and he was so eloquent.
Wow.
And I was so excited.
Wow.
And he went through. So I said, at least I have some resemblance of myself, somebody who is coming after me. But eventually, on that way, it was too demanding, and he was young. He said, "Mommy, I will never go back to politics."
Oh, wow.
The children are asking for so many things, so I'm not.
Yes.
But when I was still a student leader, it's at that time that Parliament enacted a Youth Council Act.
1993.
1993.
Yeah.
A Youth Council Act which introduced young people into leadership, right from village level up to the national level. And I got interested. So we started at village level. I participated up to district level. At the district level, of course, people couldn't understand what was going on. But I used the weapon of reading.
Yes.
I asked for the act and I went through the act. And then I told them, I want to be a female representative at the national level from Masini district. And they voted for me. And when we were called for a delegates conference, that was the first
delegates conference under the new act.
Under that act, which was introducing the young people into leadership. So we were invited to Kiambogo, and we started interacting with members, and we were told there were 5 positions for young people to join the NRC, the National Resistance Council. That was in 1994. April. And then we were also told that there were 5 positions for the young people to join the Constituent Assembly. So Constituent Assembly, its mandate was to write the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.
So you join that?
I didn't. I looked at the NRC, the National Resistance Council, because we had to strike a balance. Those who wanted to go to the Constituent Assembly, by then it was the one which had heated up, and it was actually the current talk at that time, and people wanted to go to the CA. So, and we were many. So people expressed interest first, and I said, okay, if you've expressed interest from our region, Western region, somebody from Mbarara had expressed the interest to go to CA. Then I said, somebody from this other side of the Western region, the extreme Western region, we are going to express our interest to join the NRC. And I am there to serve you.
So what was the difference between CA and NRC?
CA was tasked to come up with a constitution, to write the constitution, and its mandate would stop at that. While NRC was still coming up and drawing and developing and passing statutes, which eventually translated into laws, acts, which we are using now. And it was an ongoing process. It did not have a time limit.
So you joined NRC.
NRC.
For how long was that?
I joined NRC from 1994 to 1996.
It was only about 2 years.
2 years, and I was representing the Western region.
Midwestern.
Western region.
Oh, Western region.
Not Midwestern. I was the youth representative for Western region.
And
ours was the pioneer youth leadership.
Youth leadership at that time.
And
so you are our senior in youth leadership.
In youth leadership, and then you came on board afterwards.
Much later.
But it was an interesting and exciting moment to join NRC when we didn't know actually what we were going to do in NRC.
You're just breaking ground.
Yes.
Creating your own path.
And I remember the day we were sworn in, somebody commented, and up to today I still remember that statement that these people have brought these young people here to come and sit with us. What are they going to do here? And I changed my face and I looked at that direction in the chambers. And the honorable member is still alive. But I reminded him, and he asked for pardon. I told him we were there and we are still here and we shall be here.
So what can you people be remembered for in the NRC? Because as you see, there was doubt whether you could do anything. In the
NRC, one thing that we made sure that we achieved was to continuously have the young people represented,
the youth
represented in all sectors of leadership. Because at one time, they had wanted to scrap it off. Then we said, no, but we have impacted on the lives of the youth. And it's from that time that we had the secretariat established for the youth at the Ministry of Gender. So, and since it was a learning process, and we were coming to the end towards the end of the NRC. So from our side as NRC, I would say that we managed to get youth
Yes.
join the sixth parliament.
You are historical.
Yeah,
in
sixth
that
parliament.
perspective, because then up to now we still have youth leadership in the
Yes,
country, and
yes,
it is
yes, and
impactful.
it's impactful,
Yes.
and the issues of youth cannot be brushed under the
anymore.
carpet.
Yes, yeah.
Because now they are the top of it. And even when you look now at the participation of the young people in parliament and in local government, the number is growing.
It's growing.
And this is because partly we had to get the road, we had to get to the road and start working.
So you are aware, of course, that those seats now are renewable. Okay, Parliament always sits every other 10 years.
10 years to renew those.
Where do you see the future of these political seats? Are they still viable? Remember, other countries even don't have this kind of leadership yet.
But they are going there.
Yeah.
They are going there. They have been learning from Uganda. Like Kenya, they invited me at one time to go and talk to them.
Yes.
And they really appreciate the fact that when you leave the young people to contest openly with any other people, you may not achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
But when you created some of these other positions and you invite the young people to participate, then it helps them, it grooms them for them to be able to participate even with other people in those other positions.
So you grew up in the council.
I grew up in the council.
How did you graduate from that now to the mainstream politics?
You know, the youth seat is so tricky. You just participate and represent them once.
Yes.
You cannot go back because one, there is a cap on the age.
Yes.
In the act. So when you clock 30, automatically you cannot go back. Even when you are 29, they will say, but are you going to serve for one term? So after the 1996, I crossed over to the women's seat. Masindi
in 1996.
Wow. But as I contested, there were so many questions. By then I was not yet married. So as usual for young people, there were so many questions. You young lady, you are not married. How will you represent us?
How
what
will you do? Do you know anything about family?
Do you know anything about children? They are never asked really.
Yeah.
But I told them we are not going in parliament there. We are not going to handle the issues of cooking food or producing what. No, we are going to discuss issues concerning policies, laws, legislation, yes, and issues that affect people.
Yeah.
So I would explain, but of course it was such a short time, you cannot explain to everyone in the district.
It's always a question for every woman who is contesting.
Yes.
You know.
So that time I let it go, and they asked me to go back. So and in 2001, I made a comeback, and then they said, yes, now you have answered. By then I had gotten married, and I had a family. So it wasn't an issue now.
It wasn't an issue now.
The issues now changed to what are you going to do for us, and how won't you disappear? What new things are you going to bring to us?
Are you married in the same district or another district? Because usually it's also, she's not married in this district.
It was a bigger Masindi district, and my husband comes from Bulisa, but we were still Masindi.
Yeah.
And I also come from Masindi. So that was not an issue.
Yeah.
So issues were completely different, and they wanted representation and service delivery, which I pledged, and which I believe I delivered, especially through the 4 roles of a member of parliament.
Yes.
Legislation, representation, oversight, and budget appropriation. And I am happy because some of the issues that I raised and which would come from my communities, they would hear and they would appreciate, and they would call me. At times they would even call me before I enter the parliament. Somebody calls you and say, yeah, you talk about this one, we have this problem, and then I will be able to raise the issue on the floor of the House.
I can be one of your voices to confirm that you, at least the terms I was with you, the 2 terms, you were very, very agile representative in terms of engagement on the floor.
Yeah, so
I don't know, what some of the your proud moments that you can talk about in those 4 roles of a legislator. What are some of the things that you can, quickly talk about?
Some of the things which made me proud, and up to today, I feel happy when I get to the communities and to the ladies. One, I was at the center of moving a motion to remove taxes on sanitary wares, on pads.
Wow.
And I stood alone, and the first time I talked, the speaker by then was the Right Honourable Second. He asked me, Honourable Member, what are you talking about? And I repeated, I told him, Honourable Speaker, when I'm in my periods, or when any woman is in her periods, she uses the sanitary wares. And those sanitary wares, when we move out to buy them from the shops,
they are taxed.
They are taxed
highly.
So every month that I am in my periods, I'm taxing. What wrong did I make to be taxed? Did I ask God to make me a woman so that I can pay tax?
I remember that was in the 8th Parliament.
Yes, Parliament.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that when I mentioned that, the men stood up. By then, the Honourable Minister of Finance, State Finance, was Honourable March. He stood up and they admitted that they had never thought of it that women were paying taxes every month.
Wow.
And two, what I also informed the Parliament was that the children, when we produce children, nowadays we use the Pampers. So have I made any wrong to produce a Ugandan? A Ugandan who is going to serve the country? Yes. Every time I buy Pampers, I pay taxes. You men and the women, everyone pays taxes. Have you made a mistake to produce a Ugandan? And everyone, the men were the first to support. And that day, at that material time, we waived off the taxes.
Wow.
And today, we don't have those taxes.
That
was one of the moments I felt really I have impacted a lot on my society, especially a woman, the womanhood, and especially the girl child, because most girls were dropping out of school because of
that. Up to today.
Today. Yeah. So that one was one of my best moments, and up to today, I still remember that.
It is always said that women, when we're in politics, we argue or we represent issues that are concern to the women, the children, the most marginalized in society.
Yes.
I think maybe because of our motherhood, our nurturing,
and our role, the triple roles we play.
So it's not surprising that you stand out for such kind of things.
Yes. And the second best moment, which up to today, whenever I'm attending any function, I feel happy. Was when we were paying tribute to the late Professor Kakoma. You know, before we were taught to sing national anthem, one stanza. So we would sing one stanza. So during the tribute of Professor Kakoma in Parliament, George Kakoma, I stood up in my contribution. I asked every Ugandan and the government that what we can pay Professor Kakoma will be to sing the 3 stanzas. Because when he was composing and writing the national anthem, all those 3 stanzas mean a lot to Ugandans. But when we sing one stanza, where are the 2 stanzas?
Yes.
As if they don't mean anything. And when I submitted, everyone stood up and said, yes, we didn't know. And I asked, even when our president would attend function, would sing only 2 stanzas. Now, what about the 3rd one? And even when the visiting head of state would sing 2. So I moved during that tribute that I proposed that we start singing 3 stanzas at every function. And then I got people supporting me. And after like 1 month, I started hearing at the national functions, 3 stanzas being sung. And I usually feel happy whenever they sing 3 stanzas. I usually talk to myself, tell myself I made a contribution. That was one of my best moments up to today.
You seem to be a historical in all your things. You started in NRC, historical.
Yes.
You came into this. You know, the affirmative seat is also a historical seat.
Yes.
You are doing things that have kept, you know, your
and
value
the third one,
visible.
because I've been in Parliament like 4 times, 4 terms. I served 20 years consecutively.
Consecutively, it's not easy
Yeah,
for any
it's not
politician
easy
at all.
The third moment, where I feel also happy, and the communities feel happy, they have been empowered, especially the rural
At the local level.
At the local level was when I moved an amendment to the income tax to waive off the withholding tax on SACCOs. It wasn't an easy
Was that
one.
recently? When
It was some few years ago.
Okay.
And
when you were chairperson of the pensions board?
I was a chairperson of parliamentary SACCO. And I moved that amendment. There was pull and push, but eventually I convinced the members, and the members supported, and we waived off the withholding tax on SACCOs for 5 years. We first waived off for 5 years.
Yes.
After the first year, the government reintroduced the tax again. And again I had to move. Now we waived off for 10 years.
Wow.
And we put a rider that tax which was waived off, let that money be used to
strengthen the SACCOs,
to build the capacity of the SACCOs, to capitalize SACCOs. And the SACCOs, whenever I visit SACCOs are so happy that they are building their capacity. And some cannot borrow now from banks.
The banks.
Yeah, because you have already some finances to lend out.
That was really impactful, because it affects the lowest person in the community. In those villages.
And when the SACCOs invited me, they proposed to me, we want you to chair the union of SACCOs in Uganda.
Wow.
Which I'm chairing
right
now, yeah.
Wow.
So that was one of my best moments, but it had those challenges of reintroducing the tax after 1 year. I feel happy that I've impacted on so many, especially SACCOs, knowing that SACCOs are mainly by women.
Women,
women,
most marginalized, go to the
farmers, rural farmers, they are saving and lending to themselves. I feel really happy that we passed it, and I moved it and introduced it.
Wow. How about at the constituency level? I know women are the most impactful in terms of their intervention.
The last one, which I don't want our viewers to miss out, although it's not being implemented, it was during the constitutional amendments in the last term. In the last term, during the constitutional amendment, as you had rightly stated at the beginning, a woman MP, this woman MP represents all the constituencies in her district. But when you look at the facilitation, it's equal to what a constituency MP is being given. So are the councillors. The woman councillor at the sub-county level represents
the entire
all the parishes. But the male councillor
maybe has
only one. But the woman councillor at the sub-county takes 2 sub-counties or 3 sub-counties.
Justice to the women leadership.
And I remember when we were making constitutional amendments, I presented and moved that we get each sub-county being represented by 1 woman councillor. And I want to thank you, Monica. You were part of the team who supported me.
Absolutely.
And all those who supported me. And we passed it. And although it was not implemented during these last elections, but I know it will be implemented in the 2026 because we made those amendments. They had some financial implications. These are some of the few
that you can talk about.
I can talk about
or remember right now. But there are many more.
But I'm happy that people are happy, and people are enjoying and benefiting from some of those proposals which are I made. You had asked me about the constituency.
I know your impact is greater there.
Because,
women in constituencies are doing so much as women, as mothers. They outwork themselves within the limited resources. Oh,
in my constituency, in my district, of course, being a representative I felt I should, even when I leave Parliament, even when I leave the politics, I should have a legacy which I will leave behind. That was at the back of my mind. Whenever I would go into deliberate, be it on legislation, representations, oversight, and budget appropriation, I would think around what legacy am I going to leave.
Yeah.
And I feel I successfully made that. After looking and realizing that most of the girls were dropping out of school because of lack of sanitary wares and lack of education on how they can really handle themselves. And I realized that parents were not giving that attention to biological changes of a girl child.
Yeah.
I decided to take it upon myself to start educating, talking, be it at barriers, any function, I would talk about the need to give the children sanitary wear. And I would remove all the gloves and tell them the real truth.
Okay.
That for us women, after making 12 years or 13, 14, 15, yes. You change biologically. You start your menstrual period. And at first, when I would talk about it, the men would cover their eyes. I told them, this is the truth. Even your wives, they go through the menstrual period. Every woman goes through menstrual period. So don't cover your eyes. Your daughter, they go through these menstrual periods. And if you are not providing them with sanitary wares, definitely they'll go to another man. They will first of all deceive you that I have a headache, malaria. So the 3 days, 4 days, they miss out. Home. Yeah. So every month, they miss 4 days. And in a term of
3 months,
a month, they miss 12 days. 12 days. Times those 3 months. Yeah. That is 36 days. It's already a month they have missed. I opened up during the Women's Day celebrations at the district level. And that's when every man came to his senses. Yes. And then I told them, why can't you provide? Buy that pack of sanitary wares. By then it was at 2,500.
Up to now, I think.
And I asked them, some men, for every evening, you pass by a Kafunda. You buy a bottle of beer. Not only one. Those who drink those things, they take more than 2, 3. That's already a pack of sanitary wares. Yes. I requested them. I just request you this weekend. Just give it to us, the girl children. Buy for us a pack of sanitary wear. It started like that, and then I would go to every barrio and I would talk about it. And I want to say, I feel happy that now the men actually came up to start talking about it. They told me we are going to help you. Wow. So we would be at the barrio, then a man, LOC1 chairman, 2, 3, would stand and talk about sanitary, provide sanitary wear. Wow. But people were trivializing it. They said, why does she talk about menstrual period? And then lastly, I was happy during the elections. That time, it became a real issue. And the parties were really, they had to include it in their manifestos, provision of sanitary wear. So I am happy that I started it, and I went ahead also to provide sanitary wares to the girls who were joining Senior 1. Scholastic materials. I opened up and I called it a scholastic material. And it would be a real big day, a prize awarding ceremony, and the whole district would attend, and the parents were really appreciated.
So you supported the education sectors, promotion of girl child education, which every woman MP should really. And man.
And I feel happy that up to today, parents call me, hey, your daughter is at the university. Wow. The one you supported at P7.
That is life-changing.
Yeah, it's life-changing. And I've been telling them that you also support other girls who may not be able to have some of these necessities. So that is one of the things I think which kept me in Parliament. Wow. Because it ran through all the 20 years.
Yes. Well, that's very satisfying, Honourable.
Yeah, and I feel
change a life like that and push another life. That is the reason you are a leader.
Yeah, that was one of my best best contribution to the community.
And being an activist for girl child, for the women, certainly that is satisfying.
So, and I don't think it's because I had money, no, but it was a commitment because all of us were being given money. But me, I said, let me help these needy, and possibly in the future they will also be where I am, and they should be okay. So that was one of the contributions that I made in the constituency. Another area which I focused on was after realizing that I grew up from a rural village, would walk like 7 miles, 10 miles to go and collect firewood. And would carry on our head, you tie that firewood in front, you make it small, and then you fix the firewood behind here so that it's a bit huge. And then you make sure you balance it on your head. So after looking at the changes in our environment and the trends and how women were suffering, the distance actually kept on increasing because the forest in a nearby places would reduce. So you have to go deeper. You have to walk a longer distance to go and collect firewood. And at home you have to prepare food. So they want you to prepare food, and children want to eat, and the family wants to eat. I decided to start a program codenamed Greening Masindi through planting trees. And I decided I'm going to start planting trees in schools. I would buy tree seedlings, ask the DEO to identify for me schools which had land and the acreage of the land, so that NFA can guide me on how many tree seedlings can fit in. So we started this Greening Masindi. And I want to say all the schools which had land by then, when you pass and you visit the school, you will see a greenery, a green canopy.
I think, Masindi is quite a green district in many ways.
And of course, when I introduced it in schools, the religious institutions also they asked me, picked up, Honorable, why can't you also lend us a hand? So I had also to spread out to religious institutions. But the women groups also asked, what also? So I had also to go out, but slowly because it was becoming too huge for me and very expensive. So that's also another program which I feel partly satisfied because one, it helps in mitigating the climatic change,
and of course the woman is the one
and the woman is the beneficiary, and most of those trees, the tree forests which were planted, the branches peel off. When they peel off,
they use it for
cooking. They use it for cooking. But also the schools will be able to benefit to get timber or sell and make money or make furniture. That's also another contribution which I made to the community, and which remains in the archives of Masindi. And they are happy, really. I want to say they are happy. And partly it's why they kept on voting for me, because every time I would come up with a new idea.
Pursue it.
Yeah, and I pursue it. And I wanted to leave it as a legacy. That put aside, I am known in Masindi as somebody who is at the center of helping the women know their health status, and especially trying to show them how they can prevent themselves, protect themselves from those diseases.
So you dealt a lot with sexual reproductive health
issues. Yes. And I also had to open up. I did not want to, you know the way culture trains us, don't talk about this. But I had to get out and tell people at the burial places, at the functions, district functions, that women are dying because of cancer.
Health,
cervical cancer. So I became, whenever I would stand up to talk, they would say cervical cancer. And I would talk about it and open up, tell them the mode of transmission and the signs. Mainly the signs are the ones which you would find people scared. She has talked about those things, but I told them we have to, unless we talk about those signs, the women will continue dying. Nobody will talk about it.
Wow, you have done quite a lot, Honorable. Yes. I wanted us to talk about politics, really, the mainstream politics. What does it take for a woman who wants to join politics? You've been around for quite a while. There must be experiences that a woman has to share. What is it like getting into politics? What should they expect? What are the challenges they should expect when somebody is joining politics? Because we want more to join in the political arena. Just talk about a little bit on that area.
What women out there should know, and everyone should know, that there is nothing which will stop you from joining politics if you are determined. One, you need to be determined you yourself. Determination will get you
very far.
Participate in politics. And I know people have been saying, if you don't have money, don't participate. No, you first go there and you realize you encounter those challenges. Money will follow you there. If you have good ideas which you are going to market, people may not look at money. They will want to listen. Now the communities are changing. Somebody will come and give them money, but they want to hear. What do you think is she going to add on to what has been taking place? And I want to urge you, all our viewers, don't wait. If you have developed that idea, make sure you implement your idea. Put it into practice. And it takes courage for you to get out of it. But if you remain there and you are not getting out of it, then you will never participate. And two, I want to believe that exposure also helps a lot, especially exposure in student leadership and in these local leadership.
Local leadership,
like Women Council,
the preparation.
Youth Council, PWD Council, Elderly Council. So when you start participating, that's when you get the exposure. And this is training, small workshops which are always organized. That's where I want to request the men. When your wife has been invited for this workshop, give her that opportunity. Let her go and participate. In every workshop, every training, you cannot live without picking at
something,
least a lesson. Give them that chance. Let them go and attend. Because when they come back, even if they taught about on how to feed the children, she will know how to balance
the diet
for the child, and even for you, the man. So all that exposure also helped me a lot, and it helps a lot the women to be able to
grow to another level.
But also education. Education is very important. Education is key
for any woman.
Is very important and very key to any woman who wants to aspire into leadership at all levels.
So how has been the experience of educated women in parliament vis-a-vis the others? Do you, of course, see a difference in terms of quality?
In terms of quality,
if one comes with a very good education background and then the other one maybe.
But the good education background is relative. What is good education background? Me, I went through Masindi schools. And somebody went through Kampala schools. So what is quality education background? That is relative. But me, I want to believe that if somebody has gone to school, has attained education,
at least,
and somebody can be able to express herself before the others, that should be actually a leeway for that person to be able to impact on others. Yes. And what do people expect from us? To represent them.
Representation.
To share with others, and also come back and share with your voters.
The local people.
So I believe the quality of education, that is relative. Quality of schools, because that would mean that it would be only children who have gone through private schools
who can be
represented. Me, I did not go to a private school. I went through government schools. During our time, the private schools were not there. So education is the key, and we need to take our girl children to school so that they can study and be empowered. And education, when the girl child is educated, she can stand and even say no to even a teacher. If a teacher advances,
they
she
become
can say
stronger,
no. Yeah, she
more
will come back and tell you, the parent, this one was proposing this. Or if she meets somebody on their way, she will come and tell you. Like I remember at one time, at one of the schools, because I would go and talk to children to remain in schools, and that if any teacher proposes to them, I would give them my hotline. Call me. One time at night I was sleeping. The girl child called me.
Wow.
And she told me my parents want to marry me.
Hey.
Yeah. I asked
you
her,
went on a rescue mission.
Hey. I asked her, where is this? She told me the place. She told me they are planning. They have told me tomorrow I prepare myself that somebody is coming on a bike to take me to another place. I want you to help me.
That is when, like, your spirit boils and
I called the police
somebody.
at night and very early in the morning. I drove and the police drove and followed me. We had to go and rescue the girl child.
Wow.
But also the other boy, the other side
was supposed to marry.
Yeah, but we had to get to the parents. How can you marry this child? The child was in P7.
I think that's where we are going to move towards.
Yeah,
We just need to
the girl
parents.
child was in P7. So the first culprits were the parents. Then they started, no. She was going to visit the uncles. I said, no.
Do you are going know to the marry. Situation is worse now?
This person in Chigumba, is he by any way your relative? No. Sorry, Honorable. I said, I don't mind your vote, but you are going to marry this child. He's young. You want to keep this child. Police, do your work. So they had, first of all, to keep them somewhere.
For some days.
So that they come back to their senses.
Yes.
And the girl, because she was traumatized and they were moving towards PLOE, she passed in grade 2. But you can imagine if they had not. And it was a Karuro village, Alimugonza, primary school. So that is education, the power of education. Because she had reached P7, and I would visit those schools and talk to them, tell them remain in school. Even if it's your parent or anybody tells you to.
Honorable, and the viewers, of course, you are aware that the girl child right now, post-COVID, is more affected.
Is more vulnerable.
Among the 10 girls who join at primary, only 3 can finish as second. So we still have a lot of work. But we need to empower them. We need to empower them. Okay. So that means a lot, especially empowering somebody through education. And the men, I am happy, the men from my district had to appreciate and join hands with me. So they would help me whenever I would organize such missions to go out and talk to schools. The male counselors would be there. They also address these girls and tell them, even if it's me coming proposing to you, report him immediately.
So the situation started changing. And unless we get all these people together on our side, the war is still on. We need to fight it, both of us, the men and the women. We
are talking about politics and how more women can join. Of course, you are aware we want more women.
But that is education. Yes. But also economically, we need to help these women.
Yes.
To get economically empowered. Because a woman will want to print posters, even airtime, social media to buy data. If she doesn't have, then politics to buy a smartphone now. People are on social media. So women have to work extremely hard to make sure they get money in their pockets. Because that one we cannot run away from.
There's no negotiation about that.
There's no negotiations about it. Men can borrow. They can go out and borrow.
They have the property.
They have properties. For us, you are staying on the land title. The family land title
apparently
is in both your names. Because that is the family property. But for the men, they can convince you, go and mortgage it there, put it there, and borrow money. And you are there. So we need to work with these men, so that also, when you are in such a fix, you can be able also to pick a few
some
things here and there.
Politics is about money at times.
And you can only do it if you have developed that interest. Start saving. Start saving, be it 1 shilling. Start saving. We have those small circles. in the villages, start saving. You save, and whatever you save will earn an interest and multiply and keep it there, because you have a mission which you want
4
to
years,
achieve
5
after.
years down the road.
Like now, start saving. I know women save 10,000, 20,000, 30,000.
To be able to print your posters, to be able to have fuel to go to campaigns, those basic things.
And women, I know if we mean to mobilize resources, we can mobilize resources. Honourable Monicah, women are in gardens every day. The food that we feed, that feeds the family.
The country generally.
The country. Most of it, 68%,
is cultivated by women.
By women.
Yes.
So these women, from what they get from their gardens, if they can say, if I can get like 30% to feed my family for this season, then
save the rest.
No, 30% should go back. Help me to buy what you need, the agricultural equipment and all that. Then you pick 20%, you save it. By the time that time comes, somebody will be able to have some money. Yes. So women should continue with the saving culture. And I know the biggest percentage in our country of people who are saving are women. And you remember, it's what helped India to grow. The women of India started saving at village level, then it grew up,
their backyard
industries, and now they don't borrow money.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I want to encourage women out there that you can build your own capital out of your savings. You don't need to start borrowing now
from the banks and all that.
Yes.
Wow.
We have banks here which are women banks from other countries. Yes, I don't need to mention them.
Okay.
Those women, how did they get the money? Through saving. They would bring together all their resources and save. Then they lend. Yeah.
Okay, Honorable, in the last election, you stood in the general seat.
Yes.
What is your take on these seats? It seems like Ugandan women have shied away from the direct seats right now, and we are struggling for that limited space of affirmative action. How tough is that seat? You should encourage women watching, those who are in comfort zones.
Yeah.
They are occupying offices, but they dream of becoming a politician one day. They abandon those offices and go and contest. But when they go, they should go to the direct seat. What is your take on that?
I decided to go for a direct seat. One, I wanted to create a space for another
people,
for another woman
thinking that
to come.
The affirmative seat is easier, but I don't think it is so.
It's not easy, but because all of you are contesting against each other, you are women. That's why people think it's easier. And the other one, the general one, of course, when you are going in to contest with men, one thing they will start
should go back
propaganda.
The other seat is there.
Your seat is there. Why are you leaving your seat and coming to this one? This is for the men. But it's not for the men. So you spend a lot of time laboring to explain
why you are in
this seat is for all of us.
Yeah.
It's for all of us, men, women, even youth. Although they are the other ones for affirmative action,
enhance the numbers of women.
But this one here is for all of us. Any one of us can
contest in it.
So what I found, what took a lot of my energies and time was explaining, because we have not been getting people to explain. Actually, people out there they don't know.
Yeah.
So there is a gap, and I think this program can help the community, the population to know that there is a seat which is for everyone, where everyone can contest. Not necessarily the other one.
The other one is just a small one.
But that information is lacking.
Yeah.
So women who have been contesting out there, they labor a lot to explain, and they end up not talking about their programs. I had done a lot of programs and people were appreciating, but I had to labor because I would find my opponents as spoiled. This one has come to invade us. They use all the propaganda. Now you ask them to invade you how? The constitution is clear. this space is for all of us.
Yes.
Whoever is competent, and I'm competent.
We are running out of time, Honorable. We don't want to waste people's MBs a lot.
Okay.
But I know that your story is so rich. There's so much we have to share. I hope you are writing a book.
Yes,
already.
yes. I am about to complete.
Yeah, very impactful life story that you have. I'd like you to share a few, last, lessons, because we are into mentoring of women politicians right now. What are those quick things that you can tell any other woman who is aspiring to be in your space and journey in terms of political leadership? One or two things, and then we can wind up from there. Yeah.
For those women who are aspiring to be, I will start with these ones whom we are mentoring, who are already there, who have been elected for the first time. One, you should develop your legacy. A legacy which people will remember you for. Yes. You don't just go there and you leave and people forget you and without impacting, without being known for anything. Yes.
No one knows you.
Your community should know that this one is known for ABCD, even when you are not there. That is one thing which I want to inform our viewers and listeners. And for these ones who are out, who haven't yet crossed the line.
Yes.
I want to encourage you that even us, we were not there. But we skipped and said, okay, even if it's falling in a pit, I should fall there.
Yes.
You jump as high as possible so that you land the other side
safely.
So make sure you prepare yourselves, and then you get there. And I'm not Honourable Monicah. I am not ashamed to urge women in the coming elections. Make sure you position yourself, and every constituency.
I like that.
You must have a woman.
I like that. I like
contesting.
That. I am
we go through or we don't go through. Make sure you are there. I know it will go into the archives of this country that this season
in 2026 we got this number of women all over Uganda.
300 each constituency
was having a woman.
A woman.
Wow.
Even presidents.
There was a woman.
Yes.
Yes, I think
so that people can know. And I don't know why we cannot do it. I think we have been lacking information because we are 51%
of the country. Yes.
Then why should we keep on waiting, going for
these
number of districts?
And we should not just go for affirmative seat all the time. Yes,
let's move out and be there. And I know we shall make it at one time. I know there are countries where women are 51% in all representatives, in parliament, and judiciary, and even executive. Okay.
We have got to go, I think, because the time is running out. Honourable Jalia Bintu here has shared with us a few things about her life, but also inspired some of you in a few words in terms of your journeys in politics. Today's woman is about politics. She's a politician 3 and 3, and so basically,
and I'm a farmer.
And a farmer. I didn't talk about that.
And a sports lady.
Sports,
yes, Monicah. Yes.
Farming, and politician,
and
mother, wife. Of course, those ones are standard.
Yes.
Usually.
And I wish you could allow me just in a second.
Okay.
To urge my fellow women. Make sure you do exercises at least every day.
Balancing the wheel of life. How do you do that?
Yes. I wake up early in the morning, and if I miss early in the morning, in the evening, I jog around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So healthy living, you've heard it, ladies, from the horse's mouth. It is non-negotiable.
And taking hot water before eating anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps to cleanse.
To cleanse the body. That is part of her healthy lifestyle. Jogging every morning, taking hot water, and living a healthy life. Ladies, you've heard it. It's very important to have a balanced life. Even as you're a busy woman, whichever office you're occupying as a leader, you must have a balanced life in terms of health. Yeah, we've heard it from Honourable Jalia Bintu Lukumu, and I know her story is not ending here. She's writing a book, and anytime it will be on the shelves. For those of you who would like to read more, pick lessons from this person and the other in terms of your own life journey. It's been wonderful here with us, with Honourable. Honourable, thank you so much for taking off your time this afternoon to have a discussion with us. I am hoping that in 2026 and beyond, the story will be different because we want to see more women. We've waited on affirmative action. It's not taking us to the level we want. It is standard now. It is stuck. It is like the maximum.
Like
so we must explore other
%,
ways of getting more women in Parliament. That's the purpose of this program. And so we want to thank you, Parliament and beyond. Politics is the mainstay for women. Let's get out there. Let's spread out. And when we reach those spaces, we need to dominate.
We should not fear risks.
We should not fear taking risks.
Yeah.
Take courage, get out, step out, spread out, and also dominate and occupy those spaces as women and leave legacies in terms of impacting the world. We want to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We have to sign out from here until next Saturday when we have another person right here. And we wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas together with your families and a Happy New Year. Hope that as you're enjoying this Christmas, you are enjoying it very well and also healthy together with your families. Yes, we have to sign out. Thank you so much. Best Western Hotel. This is where we are at Entebbe. And of course, our partners there, the women's movement, all of you people, thank you so much for supporting this program. It will get better and bigger as we create our space, expand our space. Of course, Civic Space TV is here for us, and we want to thank them so much as we keep engaging. Yeah. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.